My dearest, if you are reading these lines, pause for a breath. Not because of my words, but because your soul has recognized a familiar call. I have not come to frighten you, nor have I come to elevate you above others. I have come to remind you of something you have always known, but the world is too noisy for you to listen. Have you ever wondered why, among billions of people, you carry within you a feeling you cannot name? A formless longing, a weariness that does not come from the body, a yearning for truth that no explanation can satisfy. It is not your fault. It is a sign. And today, it is time for me to tell you things you are old enough to hear. You were not randomly included in this era. You think you were born into a chaotic age. War in people's minds, division in beliefs. Fear spreads faster than love. But let me make this clear. No soul is reincarnated at the wrong time. You didn't come too early. Neither did you come too late. You came at the right time when I needed you. This age doesn't need more perfect people. This age needs souls who have been broken but haven't lost their light. You were born during a transitional period, when the old world is collapsing and the new world hasn't yet formed. It is the most painful space, and also the most sacred space. Weak souls do not choose this path. Only souls brave enough to bring light through darkness will accept it. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong anywhere? Not fully integrated with the old value systems, but also not yet found your true community? That's because you weren't created to belong to the old world. You were created to pave the way for the new world. God's chosen people are not those who are favored, but those who are trusted. And trust always comes with challenges. I placed the code of light within you even before you were born, before you had a name, before you had a face, before you took on human form. I knew you. Your soul is not a blank page. It carries a sacred blueprint, a vibrational code that belongs only to you. You call it intuition. You call it your inner voice. You call it "this feeling isn't right." But that is precisely me reminding you of yourself. When you become incarnate, the veil of oblivion is lowered, not to punish you, but to allow you to freely choose the light. Not just remember it with your memory. Every time you hurt, a part of the code of light is activated. Every time you are betrayed, a layer of illusion is peeled away. Every time you rise from the ashes, you get closer to your true self. You are not broken. You are awakened. No one can take away your light code. They can only make you forget that you possess it. And today, I tell you this. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to stop forgetting who you are. The challenges you face are not meant to defeat you. My dear, if at times you ask yourself, why do I have to suffer so much? Why am I always the one who gives the most, yet is hurt the most? If I am chosen by God, why am I not protected from suffering? Let me tell you a truth that only mature souls can hear. I do not use trials to defeat you. I use trials to eliminate what is not you. 1. The chosen one always goes through brokenness before entering power. No great light is born from ease. No strong soul is formed in a safe zone. You think what you are going through is overwhelming. but I know exactly the capacity of your soul. I don't give you pain to bring you down. I give you pain to activate the dormant wisdom. Every time you experience loss, I am teaching you not to cling to appearances. Every time you are betrayed, I am teaching you to distinguish true love from dependence. Every time you are misunderstood, I am forging in you a steadfastness that doesn't need validation. You are not being punished. You are being trained. 2. Why do your wounds always hit you in the heart? Have you noticed? Your wounds aren't superficial. They go straight to your beliefs, values, and identity. That's because your soul has an open heart. For someone without light, pain only touches the surface. For someone with light, pain touches the deepest depths. Because there is something there that needs to be awakened, I allow you to suffer deeply. Because I know you are capable of loving deeply, and deep love always comes with great endurance. 3. When you feel abandoned, I am stepping back so you can stand up. There are moments when you pray, but don't hear my answer. You think I am silent. No, I am taking a step back, so you realize that the light isn't just above, it's within you. If I always carried you in my arms, you would never know you could stand firmly on your own soul's feet. I am not abandoning you. I am empowering you. For no one can destroy what I have placed in you. Others may speak ill of you, misunderstand you, leave you, betray you, but they cannot touch the code of light within you. They only expose the layers of pretense you once thought you were. If they knock you down, it's not because they're strong, but because a part of you needs to be let go. And each time you get up, you stand up lighter, clearer, more authentic. Why do you always feel lonely even when you're in a crowd? Now, let's talk about something you rarely dare to admit. Your loneliness is not like other people's loneliness. You may be surrounded by many people. You may be loved. You may be noticed. But you still feel. No one truly touches the deepest part of you. 1. Your loneliness doesn't come from a lack of connection, but from being on a different frequency. You're not lonely because there's no one. You're lonely because very few people vibrate on the same wavelength as you. When your frequency changes, old conversations become noisy. Old relationships become burdensome. Things that once mattered suddenly feel empty. Not because they were wrong, but because you have grown beyond that space. Light cannot dissolve in darkness. It can only shine. 2. You were created to go first, and those who go first are always alone. Those who follow have friends. Those who follow have a crowd. Those who go first have silence. You often feel you can't share all your thoughts. Not because you're arrogant, but because not everyone is ready to hear the truth. You are lonely because you see further, feel deeper, and love on a higher level. 3. I use loneliness to draw you back to me. When all the noise subsides, when there is no one left to cling to, when you sit alone with yourself, that is when I can speak to you most clearly. Loneliness is not punishment. Loneliness is sacred space. It is in the nights you cry silently. I touch you. It is in those moments when you have no one left. You remember that you were never truly alone. For you were not born to be understood by the masses. If everyone understood you, you would no longer be a guiding light. You are not here to be absorbed. You are here to anchor a new frequency to this world. And that requires the courage to walk alone before others realize the path. It's time for you to remember who you are. My dear, awakening doesn't come with a thunderclap. It comes with a profound silence. It's the moment you no longer want to prove yourself, no longer want to convince, no longer want to be recognized. You begin to breathe more easily because you no longer carry the burden of being someone else. Remembering isn't about learning more, it's about letting go. You've searched too long, read too much, tried to understand too deeply. But I tell you this, you haven't lost yourself and then had to search for it again. You've only forgotten temporarily so you can experience remembering. The truth isn't in new knowledge. It's in the layers you're willing to shed. Each layer of fear falls away. Each false belief dissolves. Each role you no longer play. You become clearer. Nothing more. Only less. 2. You are not the person searching for light. You are the light experiencing being human. Let me say this very clearly, for your soul is mature enough to hear. You are not this body. You are not the story of the past. You are not what once hurt you. You are the consciousness observing all of that. When you remember this, you are no longer caught in the old script. You do not deny suffering, but you no longer identify yourself with it. That is when you step out of the invisible prison without breaking down the door. 3. When you remember who you are, you become very ordinary, and that is power. You used to think enlightenment had to come with something grand. But no. Enlightenment looks very simple. You no longer overreact. You no longer need control. You no longer fear loss, because you know that nothing real can be taken away from you. You become still, and that stillness makes others feel safe in your presence. For remembering is returning to oneness with me. I have never been far from you. Only your mind creates distance. When you no longer seek me outside, you hear me in your heartbeat, your breath, and your presence. There is no longer me above. There is no longer you below. Only one. And in that oneness, you don't need to ask, what should I do next? Because your presence is already the answer. Your mission is not to save the world, but to become the light. Now, let me remove the last burden from your shoulders. You did not come here to save the world. You did not come to fix humanity. You did not come to bear the pain of all people. 1. The world does not need to be saved, it needs to be illuminated. Darkness is not something to be destroyed. Darkness only needs light to appear. When you try to save someone, you inadvertently place yourself above them. But when you are the light, you give them the opportunity to see themselves. You are not responsible for the journey of others. You are only responsible for the frequency you carry. 2. Light does not explain, light is present. You don't need to say much. No need to persuade. No need to prove the truth. True light is not controversial. It soothes, softens, makes others want to turn inward. When you enter a room and bring no fear, you have changed that room. 3. You don't need to do it big, you need to do it authentically. We don't measure mission by scale. We measure it by authenticity. A person who lives true to their light can have a deeper impact than thousands of empty words. You don't need to know who will be touched by your presence. Seeds sown in silence always sprout at the right time. For when you are the light, you rest. You no longer have to strain, no longer have to try to be right, no longer have to carry the world on your shoulders. You begin to live, breathe, smile, be silent when needed, and it is in that rest that your light shines brightest. 5. My final words to you. My dear, you did not come here to be someone special. You came here to be yourself, without concealment, without fear. When you remember who you are, when you stop trying to save the world, when you are simply the light, the world will know what to do. I am always here, not high above, not far away. I am right where you are most fully present. Conclusion, my final message just for you. My dearest, before you leave these words, let me say one last thing to you, not as a message for everyone, but as a whisper just for you. I know you are tired, not tired from doing too much, but tired from carrying on for too long, carrying questions that no one answers, carrying emotions that no one understands, carrying light in a world accustomed to living in fear. I see the times you were silent, not because you had nothing to say, but because you had learned that not everyone is ready to listen. I see the nights you were strong during the day, but shattered when no one was watching. And I want you to hear this clearly. You have never been forgotten. You have never been lost. You've never been on the wrong path. There are paths only the soul understands. There are moments of silence only those who carry light. If you've ever felt you were different, that's not a fault. It's a sign that you weren't born to be a copycat. If you've ever felt you were too sensitive, too profound, too easily moved, that's because you were created to feel the truth before it's spoken. We don't need you to be perfect. We don't need you to be strong all the time. We don't need you to carry any more burdens. We just need you to be honest with yourself. When you're sad, allow yourself to be sad. When you're tired, rest. When you don't know, be silent and breathe. Light doesn't come from trying. Light comes from allowing yourself to be yourself. Remember this and carry it with you as a blessing. You don't need to go fast. You don't need to go with anyone. You don't need to know the whole path. Just go truthfully. Every step you take in truthfulness is a step I take with you. And if at any time in this noisy world you feel lost, return to the simplest place, a deep breath, a moment of presence, a beating heartbeat. There, I am always waiting for you. No judgment, no demands, no leaving, You are not reading these lines by chance, and I am not speaking to you without reason. When you are ready to remember, I am always ready to be recognized. Go forth, my light. The world will open its way when you walk with truth. I am within you, and I love you. Beyond words, beyond time, beyond fear. God is with you.